hopefully just things I play. It involves playing triplets, quarter note and eighth note triplets. It involves laying back behind the beat. It involves playing down the middle. It involves using different kinds of phrasing as opposed to playing like even eighth notes like da 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 da. It is involved in playing like da da dee do da do da da, like a dotted eighth and 16th type of a feel. And it's the mixture of all these different feelings that can create a lot of swing and a lot of tension and release in music. So maybe we'll just play a couple of courses on a blues. I'll try to demonstrate kind of playing behind the beat and playing across the bar. Let's try those two. Okay. Just maybe a chorus or something. But it's got to be slow enough to get this feel in. If the tempo's too fast, a lot of these things don't quite work. Then they become hurried and rushed. So this is like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So that was a little bit of like laying back, almost like, it's almost like fighting where John's time was, because he was like, and I'm like, I'm playing I'm creating tension. Mm-hmm. I'm doing what he calls the rubber band. I mean, I'm like pulling the time way back. But I don't want it to stop, but it feels good, because when I pull it back, I can make it catch up. So I can play behind the beat and then gradually arrive in the center of the beat and create a lot of different rhythmic motion instead of playing the same way all the time. Maybe now we'll play another couple of courses and try to play a little more in the center of the beat, something a little more straight ahead, and show you a variation between playing very even eighth notes and a more the bounce feel. I don't know why I call it a bounce feel, like a foxtrot. We'll use the same tempo and the same groove, I guess. Okay. Yeah. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're trying to play a little more directly down the center that time. That doesn't feel as natural to me, because I have a tendency to play behind or ahead or around, circular. And the second chorus, I was trying to do a little more of the difference between something being straight. I played a little more bounce feel. Flu boo dee boo da boo dee boo dee doo da, as opposed to dee boo dee boo da boo da. It has a different feel. So it's in trying to mix these different feels and using triplet devices that you create all this tension in the rhythm, which to me actually feels very good. It's a good way to play. It feels natural to me. And you put this all together, and that's kind of how I play. Another topic I'd like to discuss, which is not unrelated to what we've been doing on this tape in general, but this deals more with individual phrases as opposed to intervals or the walking bass line approach or playing on one string. This is like, let's sit down and make up a phrase. And I like to work with this in two different ways. The first way is very similar to the way I've been working before, that is with a static harmony. I like to see what I can do with one small idea and try to milk it for all it's worth, to get the most out of it. In this case, we're going to deal with a harmony. John and I have both decided on another old familiar friend. For those of you into modes, it's A Phrygian, or B flat triad / A. It's another way to look at it. I believe that would be correct. And I'm going to make a phrase, or come up with a phrase that really is kind of out of tempo, and then gradually find a tempo for it, or a rhythmic feeling for it. So first, it's just going to be a series of notes that I decide to put together. So John will play the chord for me. I'll come up with the phrase. This is all being improvised. And then I'll find a rhythmic shape for it. And then I'll take that to its next logical place, which is transposing this phrase and making it work in different parts of the scale, or different parts of the sound. We'll come back to that. You'll see what I mean. So let's say that's my phrase. So that's the basic phrase. That's the time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it started out kind of out of tempo. Just trying to find some notes that fit well together, that I like the sound of. It turns out that it's really that. If you look at the notes individually, I could have played them like that. We decided to give it a little eighth note feel, so it wasn't a jazz swing feel, but more of an eighth note, what we refer to as eighth note feel. And now what I'll do is take that same feel, that same phrase, and I'll be transposing it within the same sound. In other words, I'm not going to leave the key. When I say transpose, I'm not talking about moving to another key center. I'm going to stay in A Phrygian, but I'm going to move it around and start on different notes of the key or of the chord. But keep that same phrase in mind. It'll be real obvious when I do it, I hope. Anyway, maestro, if you will. We count the tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.